Right. Hello, everyone. Once again, you're welcome to We Bird Group's Talk About It virtual podcast show. Basically, what we do is that we reach out to the experienced ones in all aspects of life to help us understand. I mean, most of the things that we young ones are yet to face, so that we don't make mistakes. And like the popular saying goes, education is the key to success. We need not to wait for us to get there before we now look out for answers. So there's the right time we reach out to the experienced one. So today we have with us, I would allow him to introduce himself later, but the reason why we had to reach out to him is that he was a dancer, trained actor, musician, an entrepreneur. And then when it comes to the entrepreneurship space, he has a lot of things. Like he has done a lot of things and still doing, supporting others to achieve that too. So looking at this fast changing world, okay, in a technological space now, we have crypto and all of those things popping up. We need to not just the creative side of him, but we need to also understand the mindset, okay, for him being able to transition from one phase to the other. Once again, you are welcome, Grandpapa, as we all call him, Reggie Rockstone, Oseikrom President, Yawasante. Grandpapa, once again, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Before we even delve more into the conversation, so when I was young, I think your album, I think the second album, no, the first album, I like Sweetie Sweetie and Plan. We also see a plan, but we'll come to that. But I used to mention Oseikrom President. Oseikrom President. Our question is, did you have any political ambition? The reason why we are asking this is that your colleague musician Obo at some point also used to say that in his music. At a point, he even had a song called
Right.
The President. Later, we found him in the political space, musical president, and later occupying political positions. Did you have any political ambition when you were mentioning that, or you were saying that in your song?
At all.
You didn't.
None so whatsoever.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know this, or
Okay.
I guess it hasn't crossed their minds. My surname is actually Osei.
Okay.
So I was just playing with my surname,
Okay.
being that, this is a language that I had grown up to utilize. And like I always tell folks that English is my first language. I learned to speak Tree. So
Oh.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So basically, I was just claiming in the fantasy realm, as most rappers do. So you would
Okay.
say Kendrick is from Compton. And he says Snoop says so. I was just putting my city on the map, but it was a play on my name, Osei. So
Okay.
Oseikrom President. But I guess my people started to live their fantasies through me because my
Okay.
people are more responsive to the Asantehene than even the president. So when
Right.
I said that I was the president, they started to live their fantasies through me. Yeah, and
Okay.
it just caught on. And so this is why every now and then when I hear young Kumasianos say that I didn't do nothing for Kumasi, I'm like, you must be smoking something because from day one,
Yes.
day one, I put, and a lot of the young ones don't even realize because they would say stuff like, "But you don't live here," and I'm like, "Yeah, because I'm way older than you. When I lived here, you was a kid.
Right.
Ask your uncles about me. Ask about Sukra Ashtal, the little kid who spoke broken tree that used to
Yeah.
walk around. Yeah,
Right.
that was me. Yeah,
I think one of the challenges we also have here in Ghana, like I always say, has got to do with understanding of words. So when, like you rightly said, some people do say that you didn't do anything for Asante and all. Based on what you are saying, is from a value point of view.
right.
So from that point of view, yes, but I think majority wants to see that, okay, maybe putting in some money, some physical structures. That is how we think, and I
Yeah,
think we need to also.
it's a biased sense of entitlement that I don't
Right,
pander to. You
right,
don't know what is going on in my life. You
right,
don't even know how I got the music to you.
right,
And none of
right.
you had a hand in that. You did not pay for studio time, none of the above. And with today, with modern technology, you literally back in the day they actually purchased, but today they have it for free.
Right,
So you're not in a position to ask for nothing but listen to the music. The music in itself is a gift to you,
right.
and you enjoy this. You play it at your outdoors, blah blah, everywhere.
Yeah.
That's it. So I don't play into that.
Right. So, and
Mhm.
with this bit of the name Oseikrom President and all of that,
Mhm.
I would also want to ask, what's your take on? We just want to look at the positive side and the negative side so that we can
Mhm.
learn from celebrities or no creatives. Let me put it that way:
Mhm.
creatives who get themselves in that space, like with their face, everything showing in the political space. What's your take on that? Because at the end of the day, we do hear,
it's
yes.
it's something that I totally endorse.
Okay.
People are really um trying to find a good word, but only one that comes to me stupid because yeah, because they tend to forget that these folks that they deem celebrities were Ghanaian before they became celebrities.
Right.
They totally forget this. And
Right.
they idolize them so much that they think that these people it's from how the pedestal that they put them on is why they see them as. But once upon a time, Shatawale was not famous.
Right.
Stoneboy was not famous. Rockstone was not. Well, I've been famous for years. But
Right.
shoot,
Yes.
that's
We'll
my
come to
drift.
that.
Yeah, and they were regular, and it's the same people speaking on to them like this who elected them celebrities. These are the same
Right.
folks who elect presidents, everything. So to turn around again and tell me that you have some type of power over my choice of my politics, it's
Right.
ridiculous. You
Right.
know,
Yes.
it really you really don't. That's overstepping your boundaries. It is their birthrights to
Okay.
be affiliated with whatever uh, political, whether you agree with them is a whole nother topic.
Right.
Yeah.
Has it also got to do it? Because I think I will relate it to one of your recent posts. Has it also got to do with our understanding of competition? Because with a typical Ghanaian, when we hear the word competition, it's like enemy. So if the
Yeah.
person tends to join maybe NPP or NDC, let's say I join NPP, the NDC person now sees me as an enemy.
Hmm.
Instead of us to have healthy competition. The reason
Yeah.
I'm saying this
They
is
they become really biased and
exactly.
political idiocy. Yeah.
Yeah, because in your recent post, I think you mentioned that somebody was reviewing your product, the Wache, and then
Yes.
later you go to you found out that the person was paid by a competitor to.
Yes. This is
I don't know whether I got
a
it right. Yeah,
practice that I just found out about that's
right,
going on, and
right,
it's ironic that I never mentioned the name. I never posted this person. I didn't even
yes,
post a post. But
right,
all of a sudden, people are reaching out to me, and I'm like, okay, so who the cap fit, huh? You know.
yes,
But yeah, it was a genuine exposure
right,
expose. I had
right,
to. The reason, people felt like I was doing too much. I really needed to show people that this was taking place, and
yes,
and they tried it with me, you know,
yeah,
and so I had to, I have built an organic following on social
yeah,
media. So
yes,
most of these cats, when they come at me, they always forget that I got a larger following than they do.
right.
So yeah, it's war.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I like that video because what
Yeah,
came to
go
mind
around the
is
back. I'm doing an interview.
what came to mind is, yes, this is it again, where we don't take our time to have healthy competition. So if you like someone is doing something better than you do, maybe you can just do a basic SWOT analysis, understand what the person is doing, look out
Yes.
for shortfalls, and then also capitalize on that. But instead, we are ready to just bring everything down, forgetting
Well,
the.
I just found out that it's a practice worldwide that Coca-Cola
Okay,
does to Pepsi, Kellogg's. It's crazy. And me
right,
being the clean-hearted dude that I am, I wasn't even thinking. So it came as a big surprise to me.
right,
But I learned real quick. Yeah.
yeah. Yes. So, like, with you learning real quick, we just want to now get into the music space where we will learn a
Sure.
lot of things from there. So, in the early '80s, you were, I mean, you've been famous for years, like you rightly
Yeah.
mentioned. In the early
hmm
'80s, you were famous as a dancer, and then early '90s, as you were part of a music group or a rap group in the UK. Is it PLZ?
PLZ. Yeah.
Parable, yes. And from then, you then said, per what I am exposed to, you came back to Ghana to now
Yeah.
start, yes, pioneering this hip life and everything. Once you
hmm
understand from the '80s, what got you attracted to dancing, and then the break between the '80s to '90s where you started with this music thing. So you want to start from the '80s. What got you
Okay.
attracted to dancing? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm terrible with dates, but I can tell you,
Okay.
all throughout my life, I have been entertainment inclined. My father was
Okay.
a fashion designer. I got three mothers, all of them different. One of my
Okay.
mothers is a fashion designer as well. She was my
Okay.
stage mom. Uh, Worldwide, my father lived in America for years.
Okay.
My father invented the patch jeans, what you call the patch jeans.
Oh.
Okay. Yes, that he
Okay.
created. He's the originator of that. And so
Okay.
all throughout my life, we were all over the world, and
Okay.
so New York, UK. I was born in the UK, of course, and so
Okay.
yeah, hip hop. That came via dancing because of break
Okay.
dance. I'm a bona
Okay.
fide b-boy. I'm a break dancer,
All right.
and so I would naturally from there transition into now making the music. It's just
Yeah.
like I always say, if you like your food that much, at some point you're gonna learn how to make it. Yeah,
Right.
this is what happened. And
Okay.
so, yeah, I excelled in all of them, but I think I missed one vital part. I was a martial artist before
Oh.
all of the above. Yes, I was a martial art. Well, I'm still a martial artist
Right.
before all of the above. And then, as far as aspirations, I always wanted to be an actor. This is where I went to drama school and all of the above. So, if you add all of the above, it's kind of still in one unit, almost still entertainment inclined, and then from
Yes.
there to the next and to the next. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
then, based on all the things, I have a martial artist, a friend.
Mm-hmm.
He is in the financial space, and he talks about discipline most of the
Yes,
time.
that's where that comes from. Yeah.
Right. So, would you tell us that discipline has got to be, I mean, your backbone throughout this journey?
Yes, yes. I
Right.
mean, over the years, I have lost some of these traits, just by
Okay.
just being stupid. But it definitely plays a major role in all the way I approach
Okay.
everything. Bruce Lee being my mentor,
Ah.
everything. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So from the '80s to '90s, okay, that's what I read. But like,
Mm.
I think there was a break between the dancing and the music. 'Cause
Not
based on what
really,
I'm, yeah. Oh,
not
but okay,
really.
but
I
okay,
still dance. I mean, you
okay. So
go
you're,
on you go on my page and I'm still dancing.
yeah, yes.
Yeah,
I saw the one with your wife was
yeah,
nice. I
yeah,
think it's an old, yes.
yeah, yeah.
So with the dancing before, so the dancing was you were active in dancing before music, I guess.
Yeah, martial
Or
arts
like
and dancing.
officially.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were in Ghana then before you moved back to UK for
Yes,
before you
I
joined the
did.
music group.
Yeah, yeah. I went to school in Achimota, so
Yes.
I've been back like 3 times. So
Okay.
I came home, then I did school and went back, and then came back again. But I think the
Okay.
last one is when I went for a very long time.
Time.
But when I
Right. So
returned, I was grown. I was grown.
okay.
If
So
you've seen the
what
videos that I posted on my page, you can
yes,
see me when I'm young
very
in New
young.
York, and you see me in the UK, and then
Yes.
I finally came home. I came home in '93.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So then we want to understand because when you came, like that's when you were pioneering hip life and all of
Yes.
that. But we want to know like how you got attracted to PLZ. Was it a group thing? Did you guys plan of setting up a group
No,
like
no,
that, or
no,
it
no,
just
no.
happened?
PLZ was divine intervention. I mean,
Okay.
I had a hustle where I would go to New York, buy
Okay.
clothes, and come sell them hip hop gear. I come sell hip hop gear in the UK. And so,
Wow.
yeah, this was one of my hustles. And so, for every hip hop jam, you would see me there, you know.
Okay.
But I was always dressed in the latest hip hop gear. So it was from there that I bumped into a brother called DJ Pogo.
Right.
DJ Pogo, he's from Moni Love's story, and I guess he believed in me. At the time, I didn't even really have skills or whatever, but I looked the part. And
Right.
so then I would rope in my old friend Freddie Funkstone, Freddie File, and then another brother, and then we create the group PLZ became. So it was
Okay.
Pogo who put me on. Yeah,
Okay. So I realized that you had EPs which were released on a label. Is it Go to the Juggler?
go for the Juggler Records.
Go
Yeah,
for the Juggler.
yeah.
Yeah. So how was it like? Was it a label created by you, the team, or it
No,
was
it was
an extent?
created around us.
Oh,
Yes,
okay. Okay.
it's a sister. Her name is Sonia Polton. You can look her up.
Okay.
She's on Instagram and
Okay.
Facebook and all that. She's the one that created it, but she created it around us.
Okay. Okay. By then was record labels like the deals that we do have today, because these days we do have a 360 where you have
Yeah.
distribution, publishing, and all of that. Was it like that, or that was a
Yeah.
bit different from what
It
we have
it
today?
it wasn't that different, you know.
Okay.
But of course, she wasn't a major record label. She was an indie,
Okay.
and so
Okay.
we kind of all worked together. Yeah.
Yes.
God bless her.
Okay. Right. So now, after then, you came back to Ghana, and that's when this pioneering of hip life, everything
Yeah.
started. Yes. So, can we say that based on your experience there, you then wanted to have replicate whatever was happening there here, or
Um.
you met a team who
Initially,
also?
I didn't have, I came home for Panafest. We came
Okay.
home just to come chill after years in the West, and I had no intentions of all of the above mentioned. And
Okay.
so when I came, is when I realized that hip hop was here, and
Okay.
yeah. So I said, I am from my people. I'm Pan African. At this point, when I got home, I totally knew that I didn't want to be in the West no more.
Okay.
From sunshine, smiles, food, everything.
Okay.
You know,
So
so I literally abandoned everything that
you were building there.
yeah, you know,
Okay. So
and then
if
I
it's
came home.
so if you say hip hop was here,
Yeah, I mean they were listening to hip hop. Yeah,
they were listening to, but they were
yeah,
not, let's say, practicing or creating themselves,
yeah. There were a
or
few.
they
Yeah,
were
a few.
creators.
Yeah, talking
Okay,
drums. There's a few. Eddie Blay and
okay,
them. Yeah.
okay. There's this thing that I want to understand. We is a for me is a problem. Most of the time when we listen to radio, we do hear that hip life is this. People have different definitions for hip
It's
life.
funny how they all talking and I'm still alive. It's
Good,
crazy.
it's
It's
crazy.
crazy.
So
It's like telling Coca-Cola, whoever put what Coke is, and I'm still here. They some of them even argue with me. And I'm
right,
like, no matter what you tell me, what I tell you hip life is what it is.
yes,
So you can have your definition, but
right.
don't impose yours onto me, because if I had never said the two words, you wouldn't even have something to talk about what you're talking about.
Yes. So
It's weird. Yeah.
So I was having conversations with he said he knows you very well. Bless on. So he's in the
Okay.
UK, Radio Cardiff. And then I
Okay.
was also asking him the same thing, and he told me that for him, he knows that when it comes to hip life, you came in with a feel, like you came with a hip hop feel, even though they were just doing it, but you came in with something different.
Yeah,
First of
that's
all,
the hip.
before we,
Yeah.
we, we will delve more into that, what is hip life? What is
Hip
hip
life, hip
life?
life is interchangeable. That's something people really need to know. But what made it different from everything is the language. Okay. Now, in
Okay.
terms of branding, we paid homage to High Life. So we took the life from High Life, and then we
Okay.
took the hip from hip hop, we merged it.
Okay.
Now, as far as me rapping in Tree, that would represent the Ghanaian side of things. So that would
Okay.
be the life. Okay. And then the hip
Okay.
is the mother tree. That's hip hop. So when you listen to
Okay.
Keep Your Eyes on the Road, the sample is a Logic here from Poem, but the
Right.
rap is in English, but it's still
Right.
hip life. Then when you listen to
Okay.
Reggie from Bonnie, the lyric is in tree, the rhythm is high
Let's
life-ish.
have life.
And when you
Okay.
listen to me, the boom boom, it's a straight sample hip hop, and then the language will represent life, Ghana. You see,
Okay.
and that's it. It's
Okay.
interchangeable,
Right.
and to each their own. So if the Skillions or J Soul makes a song and you ask him and he says this is hip hop, then that's just what it is. He's the
Okay.
owner. He created it. He's the one
Okay.
telling you where he wants you to or what he wants you to call his child. So
Okay.
this is where it's at. Yeah.
So then could it be that, okay, like you rightly said, so that is relative. So for someone to say hip life is da, 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 it's relative, but for me, I think we all have opinions, like we
Yeah,
do.
yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, well, I've
However,
always said, you know, you got your opinions. That's cool.
yes.
But you cannot tell me what I told you.
Right.
I'm the one that told you. So
Yes.
why how you gonna argue with me? I mean, literally, it's just as is. If I tell you this is what I think or I say it is, then
Yes.
that's it.
Because
Yeah.
my concern is that we do have opinions, but at
Yeah.
some point we should have a standard that we can all refer to.
Well,
Because,
it's
okay.
quite irrelevant because
Okay.
music is it's soul food.
Okay.
So all the tags and the names really don't matter. It's if the food tastes good or it don't. So
Okay.
you can argue all day. At the end of the day, it's the music you're gonna go enjoy, and
Right.
that's it. So sometimes I don't let this distract me. It's trivial, a bit borderline petty.
Right.
Just make some damn good music, man, and
Right.
let and pray that people enjoy it. And music is to bring us together, so you
Yes.
share. That's it.
So you are somebody that believe in, I feel like you try to create things from nothing. So hip
Yes.
life, you just decided, so okay, hip
Hmm.
life, it wasn't popular, let's push it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Different things.
From
Okay.
a patriot's standpoint and a Pan African standpoint, because
Right.
here's another thing. Here's this kid who was born in the West, lived in the West, learned to speak his language, Pan African. He would later utilize his language and make sure that he put so much pride in there that everybody else jumped up on it. I'm coming from a people who are colonized, and we got so much coonery in us, man. It's crazy, and and,
Right.
and so people would laugh at you for not speaking good English. People would say, "Why are you speaking vernacular?" I
Yes.
made it hip to
Right.
speak tree. Today, all of these kids come from outside, and before, a lot of them used to hide the fact that it was African.
Right.
Today, they be first to say to say and eat wache and fufu and bring their friends for dirty December. You know
Yes.
that we did that. We made
Right.
it fly. We made it fly to be African and Ghanaian or Nigerian. Well,
Yeah.
Nigerians always been patriotic. That's the one thing you can't take away from. But we,
Right.
the Ghanaians, had the kulo in them hard. Yeah,
Right.
till today, actually.
Yes.
Ghanaians really
So
they love the white man.
right.
They got zero revolution in them. you know. So it was that I did that, you know,
Right.
and created employment. And, you know, young is the most prolific recorded movement ever in the history of Ghana.
Right.
Youth
And
oriented as well.
so one of my main concerns has also got to do with the fact that so hip life, like you rightly you defined, we've got to understand it. Now the question is, when there's something like somebody's trying to start up with something in Ghana, based on what I've seen so far, they do not normally have support from their colleagues or whoever. And like
Yeah.
you said, the colo in them. So you
Yeah.
just need somebody to push it until it
Yeah.
breaks through.
This
Now
is
when
what.
there's
Yeah, go ahead.
now when there's a breakthrough, then people now start coming in. Oh, I contributed. I'm the
Yeah,
pioneer. I
yeah.
am this.
All
I
of a
am that.
sudden, everybody has something to say.
Exactly.
And
So
this
the
is 30 years after the job is done. And some of you, and you know what's really crazy? Some of the folks who step up, they're not even making music today, and I am. It's
right,
crazy.
right.
Like I'm
So
still in the trenches, and they're not even
yes.
making music. But all of a sudden, I was the wall gecko on the wall when you was in the room. Yeah, yeah.
So
I was a
my main
spider on the wall.
my
Yeah.
main problem with this is that so even if we don't agree or we feel we contributed in one way or the other, let's do business. So it'll come back to our main conversation today. So whether Reggie, whether whoever did it, fine, it's there, it's well
Yeah,
established
it's
now.
irrelevant. It only became relevant because they tried to put a lie out. It was a fallacy. And so I had to
Good.
step in because perception is everything.
Exactly.
Folks try to distort the truth. And this is my legacy. I work hard for this. My
Right.
children are going to know what I did. And so this
Right.
is when I had to step in. And
Yes.
otherwise, I would have never, I'm not even built like that.
Right.
Remember, I never ever said nothing about nothing till somebody said something about something.
Yes.
We were
Yes.
just there. It was just hip life, and everybody knew who I was and what I did
Yes.
and appreciate. And
Until
then all of a sudden, somebody said, "Oh, it's not him." And what really broke my heart and irritated me and confused me was people went along with it.
yes.
Like I said, how is that possible? How old were you? What do
Yeah.
you know about hip life? And you tell me that you don't know. You asked all the folks who are making hip life, and they will
Yes.
point to me.
Yes. So,
So
like I said, I was having conversation with Mr. Blesson, and he made
yeah,
mention of that. So,
yeah, it was it
my,
was it
my
was, it was rather sad.
one of my main problems, like I was mentioning, is that I think we like, I don't know whether Ghanaians or blacks, we are more interested in titles and positions as compared to doing business. So, example with the hip life thing, we can just come together, push this, regardless of who is the founder, and let's work on that behind scenes and let's
Right,
make money off it. That is
of
one.
course.
Another one too is Azonto. So at a
It was a
point,
huge movement. Yeah,
huge movement. At a point, it just vanished like just a flash in the pan sort
yeah,
of thing. So
yeah.
my concern, and based on your experience, what do you think is the cause of this? Well, we can't focus on the business side of things, but instead we are looking out for who did it first, who is the pioneer, and all of that.
It's the crabs in the barrel syndrome, the complexes, the inferiority complexes, the pull them down complex. And I'm telling you, I don't know where we learned that bullshit from, because if the closest I could look is the British. You know, the English are very hypocritical. You know,
Okay.
the British, you know, they're just about as racist as America, but
Okay.
they're so diplomatic. They like they didn't do it. Yeah, like
Right.
they didn't do it, but they did.
Right.
And I think we might have picked up some of these traits. Oh, hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. As soon as you leave, they're on your ass.
Then
You know,
yes.
and that's the British. You know,
Okay.
the American, the KKK will burn a cross in front of your house and say, "Niggers, don't come here." They let you know. At least you know these fuckers don't like me. The
Yes.
British would drink tea with you. When you leave, they tell the gates man, "Don't let him ever back in here." That's the difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Gotta
I
know
think
your you gotta know your enemies.
I read
And
a book.
a lot of us we adopt the characteristics of our enemies.
Right. I
They
think I read
they
a
they,
book that,
they over us so much that
and
we
it's
take on their
your
the
path.
traits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a problem because like what you said, I read that in a book called Cultural Map, which brightly explains what you are saying. Like with the
Yeah.
British and that of
Yeah.
the
Well,
American, they are just straightforward, but with the
yeah.
British, you just obey that dawa, then
At
but
least
now all
let me know.
time.
Yeah. Let me know you the foe, you the up.
Yes.
But yeah.
Right. So now back to the music journey.
Yeah.
You have Casa Records.
That's
Okay.
all right. Yeah.
So, Casa Records. So
Yeah.
from the 90, I think from the 91s, 92s that you started pioneering hip life. Your first album was in 1997. Or you
you know what? Sometimes I lose track. Like I said, I'm terrible
okay,
with
yes,
dates.
with the
But
okay.
it might have even been before because I had
Okay.
demos circulating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about now. Let's talk about the business side of things then. Let's talk about before we even come to this because I realized that you posted Richie's or Links Entertainment's new project
Yes.
that you are in
Yes.
support of that.
Yes.
And that is more of monetization of
Yeah.
creating your talents. Before we even come to what is happening now, then how was it like? How were you able to monetize your your works? How
I
was it
mean,
like
we,
then?
we, we was on some hand to mouth stuff, and
Okay.
cassettes. We came from the cassette era, the
Right.
CD era, and there was no way to monitor how much. I mean, we got ripped off left and right, but you still, whatever change that you could make. But we were so excited about the music transferring to the people and the reaction of the people that we stopped counting the money, And
Right.
this true artists, it wasn't
Yes.
even about the money. But you also got to
Right.
remember, my story is different. I came
Okay.
sponsored. My father had some
Okay.
money, and I didn't go through the
Okay.
same struggles that some of these kids went through. So my story is
Okay.
different. I lived in
Okay.
a house in a residential neighborhood in East Cantonments, and I didn't
Oh.
pay rent, nothing. I had a driver. I wanted a studio.
Oh.
My father built me a studio. So my story is totally different. So when
That's a,
Shatak is
like a
speaking,
dada bar sort of
yeah,
vibe.
yeah,
Yeah.
for the best description.
Yes.
But the only difference is that there was so much humility in my household. You see,
Okay.
that's the thing. And so this is why people can't really stick that be on me painfully, because they know how grounded I am. And this is
Right.
the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, based on what you are saying, it was purely passion. Like
Yes.
it was
For
just
the
passion
arts. Yeah.
driven.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
remember my father is a fashion designer, so I come from an artistic home. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We dress different. We have different ideologies. I don't come from a typical Ghanaian household at all. Yeah.
I was young then. I think France '98, very young, like
Mm-hmm.
less than 10 years. I remember I bought your cassette. I bought like a
Yeah.
cassette, Reggie Rockstone. Yes, I
Okay.
liked it that
Yeah.
yes that much. So then, it was passion driven anyway. But if you are printing a cassette and all of that, you definitely put in some money.
Yeah. This is where my story differs from most. My father was
Okay.
the executive producer.
Okay. Of Casa Records.
Yeah. So he
Okay.
put the money in,
Okay. So he
and
was like,
I never had to pay back.
oh, okay.
He knew he knew I was onto something,
Okay.
and he always
Okay.
said, "Yeah, Adiawi is gonna be huge." And he
Oh.
didn't live to see Afro beat and all, but this is what sparked the whole revolution. So he's the one that invested in it.
What
Yeah.
what you are saying is a typical is a deviation from a typical Ghanaian parent.
Oh, definitely.
Why?
It
Yes.
definitely. My father is rare. I haven't seen. I mean, maybe with the exception of Tiny. Tiny.
Okay.
Ironically, Tiny's father's called Ricky as well.
Oh.
That's
Yeah,
yeah,
he used to say Ricky
yeah, yeah,
Nabadu in his
yeah.
song. Oh, okay.
My father's Ricky as well.
Okay.
Who were 100 behind. Their child. So,
Okay.
and this has been from day one. He's been with me behind every. He was very open minded, free
Okay.
spirited. Okay, the kid wants to do martial arts. let him be. I was the best martial artist. I won
Oh,
tournaments. He's a
okay.
dancer. I became the best dancer. I won competitions. He wants to
Yeah.
do music. Here I am today. Yeah.
So, so were you getting reward? He was putting in the money, looking at
Yes.
all the, I
Yeah.
mean, the administrative bit of it. Were you
Everything.
getting
And
rewarded? Was it
DJ Rap.
he did rap? Yes. Were you getting rewarded? So, okay, Reggie, we put in this, we made this. This is your cut. Was that happening?
Oh yeah. Occasionally we would pick up some
Okay.
money from
Okay.
Alaji Kas from Cantamanto and stuff, and
Okay.
we pretty much blew it. Yeah, we
Yeah.
bought some clothes and whatever.
Yeah.
Money has never ruled me
Being
in
a
that
okay.
sense. I
Okay.
my financial literacy is whack.
Ah.
This is
Okay.
why my wife is such a vital part of my life because she puts it all together. What the mommy, I mean, I bet you. Yeah. But
Okay.
it's also my armor because my blessings are always
Right.
amplified. So
Right.
I'm
Right.
always sharing. I'm always sharing.
Yeah. So then, like from the late 90s, 2000s. So if we even get into the internet space, that's when we
Hmm.
had like Web one
Hmm.
transitioning to Web two
Hmm.
now to Web
Hmm.
three and all of that.
Hmm.
So you witnessed the transitioning, like from
Yes.
the cassette to
Yeah.
the CDs.
I was right in the mix. Mm.
Right. So there's this thing. When I most of the time listen to interviews from actors from Kumasi,
Mm.
most of the time
Mm.
I do hear them say that, oh, you see, you cassette ni bi emunti na adwuma na ayesa no, you
Mm.
adwuma na ayeding. My
Yeah.
my concern is that yes, the world is like things are evolving, and to
Mm-hmm.
say if there's a change, I mean, you need to
Mm-hmm.
align, try
Mm-hmm.
and align. How were
Mm-hmm.
you able to do that? Because it's now coming back to our conversation, how you're able to stay relevant. So
Mm.
from your song cassette, now we're moving to a digital space.
Mm-hmm.
How did you see that when that was coming in new? And how did you
I was
position yourself?
blessed. I was blessed with a brother by the name DJ Rab from New York. DJ
Okay.
Rab, he was tech savvy. He's the one.
Okay.
He's the one that put me on social media. He said, "Let me
Oh,
put you
okay.
on Twitter, Instagram." He's the one that did that. He always
Okay.
said, "Damn, Reg, you will do so well on these platforms because of who you are, the way you are, you're a people's
Okay.
person, blah blah." And he was right. Organically, I got over 1 million followers.
Yes.
Organic,
Yes.
some of these folks be buying stuff, man.
Yes.
I
Yes.
got folks that been with me for God knows how long, and I reply. I'm very, very
Yes.
hands on
Yes.
and content. People think people edit for me. I'm like, no, I put that shit together.
Right.
I'm a great storyteller. So all of the above became what it is today that we all enjoy. But remember, I was a child star. Okay,
Okay.
I've been popular from a very young
Childhood.
age, so I
Okay.
actually understand the artistry of
Okay.
showbiz. Okay, I
Okay.
know the showbiz. I know about fame. I know
Okay.
enough humility that I'm not a fame junkie. I know all of the above. Now, folks, depending on your upbringing, fame will trick your ass. You know, and a lot of people are gonna need therapy in a few years when they're not famous no more. You know, yeah.
Right.
I don't have that problem. I remain consistent. The Reggie that
Right.
you knew from back then. Recently I posted some videos of me as a kid in New York, and I'm talking, and people was like, his voice hasn't changed. The way he talk ain't changed.
Yes.
Blah
And
blah.
then
Yeah.
yes. I was yes.
This is because I'm being me.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? And so
Right.
the authenticity of me being myself is what you're seeing. And
Okay.
this is over years. And when you
Okay.
are yourself, you don't expire because you're yourself. You're in a constant state of being who you are. And so I keep telling these folks that, I'm built different. My story's different. Some of these cats are fame drunk. And
Yes.
fame is a serious drug. It's a
Okay.
drug not to play with,
Okay.
and you see them acting a fool when, they grasping a straw just to stay relevant. In
Yeah.
my time, the word relevant was irrelevant.
Please come again.
In my
In your
days, the word relevant was irrelevant.
okay,
We wasn't thinking about staying relevant. You just
okay,
did what you had to do and kept moving.
yes,
It was never a thing of, oh, my shine is going, so I got to do so.
I need to
No.
do
Yeah,
okay.
you bowed out gracefully. If you had something to share, you came to share. So Lumba, Uncle Kudrenchi, Iron Boy, they never had to act no ways to stay on top. That's how they remain. There's just a certain aura
Yeah,
about how they, people up to today,
yeah,
they don't even put out music and they're still huge celebrities. They're legends.
yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
They didn't
So
have
yeah,
that thirst, you
yeah.
see.
I think based on what you are saying, so what I'm learning from this is that for you to stay relevant, you just have to be yourself.
Well, today, your generation is different.
Okay.
You come and go past fast like style trends. You only as hot as your last hit.
Right.
The race is crazy. Y'all moving like fast food. you know and the
Yeah.
music, the substance in the music is not that heavy, so as fast as it came, as fast as it go. So
Goes.
then you're left with struggling to remain above. you know
Okay.
you
Okay.
you got folks competing with you who don't even make music. Some dude is just acting a fool on Instagram, and he's very popular, and
Right.
he's a celebrity, same status as you.
Right.
So yeah, it's very competitive for them
But,
now. Yeah.
based on what you just said, I think you also need to help us understand this.
Hmm.
Who is a celebrity?
To whom a celebrity is, to each their own. It's who you
Okay.
deem, who you see. It's
Oh,
it's
okay.
almost personal. It's
Okay.
almost
Okay.
personal if you think
Okay.
about it, because there's this young African American cat. It's called Kai
Yes.
Sense.
Yes, the guy. Yes.
I up to this day, I don't know what this dude do. Like I see him and I'm like, okay, why is he so
What?
popular? My
Right.
children know him, everybody know him, but I'm like, he must be doing something that
Yes.
that that resonates with these cats,
Yes.
and that's just what it is. So it's to each
Right.
their own. But
Right.
then of course you got some obvious ones. When it's one thing. Speaking on who? Um, Give you an example, Bruce Lee.
Right.
Great Michael Jackson, Prince.
Jackson.
There's some
Yes.
folks that, you know what I mean. Nobody gonna tell you that they special.
Ye- Yes.
In that
Yes.
sense, of course they're human,
Yes.
but they got something that
Right. So
worth mentioning.
looking at relevance. So like you said, okay, looking at our generation, I mean things do move fast and all. So maybe we need to also try and adjust and keep going. But you said something that's very, very important, that if you stay true to yourself, regardless of the waves and whatever is happening, you still be yourself.
Yeah,
And
you have
if
more. You got more of a chance of being around. That's as if you intend to hold up, your name in lights longer if you are yourself. You
yes.
know, but the
So
thing is, I don't think about that. This is weird. I don't think about remaining relevant. You understand what
relevant.
I'm saying? Yeah.
Right.
Which
Okay,
maybe this is the reason why I guess it's so natural that I'm still relevant.
so we want to ask you. So you, part of the
Mhm.
reason why we reached out is that
Mm.
maybe if you don't know, so we are telling you that you are relevant. So if you say relevant, what that means is that you are still around. When
Yeah.
it comes to once a while, you drops music.
Hmm.
Yeah, you drop music
Videos, whatever. Yeah.
with the young ones. We see
Hmm.
you like you are around. You are
Yeah.
around. Like you said, we have hot artists and all.
Yeah.
You are not hot like the young ones
No.
doing, but
No.
you are relevant.
Yeah.
So we
That's
want to
that's the
know.
word. I'm around. Yeah.
Yeah. So we want to know in your space. We want to learn. What are you doing different?
I don't think I'm doing anything differently.
Okay.
Um, well, remember, I do have a backlog catalog, so
Okay.
I have put in work. My story is a
Okay.
little different because I am always going to be known as the dude that kicked the doors open for everybody to come in. So there's a
Right.
certain level of reverence to me. The
Right.
reason why haven't disappeared, you know, like Rockstone name always in the system, is because of social media. Social media did that.
Okay.
Most folks my age who come from my school are not active on social media like I am.
Okay. Okay.
But
Okay.
because I'm a
Okay.
people's person, because
Okay.
I am naturally, so social media fits me perfectly. I
Okay.
love a good conversation. I love a good laugh, a meme. I love a debate. That's me in real life.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, my to social media.
Nti ɛkɔ
What's my
saa,
say? So
okay.
I have
Okay.
infinite, I am walking content,
Okay.
and
Okay.
plus I got stories to share. And I don't play myself. That's another thing.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean? So there's a certain level of respect and reverence that comes, when they say grandpapa, they mean it. They come
Yes.
to me for advice. They come to me
Yes.
for, yeah. And I'm
So I
light. I'm very light.
okay. If
For
you say
my
light,
age and who
how?
I am, I have a great sense of humor. The kids, these kids sometimes forget how much older I am. Dude,
Yes.
I'm older than some of y'all fathers. But when you
I,
see them chatting with me on Twitter, they forget because of the way I
yes.
carry myself.
Yes.
Sometimes it's to a disadvantage where they be disrespectful because they
Okay.
don't. But if you really sit back and think about it, like, damn,
Yes. That's a
in the
big deal.
African
Yeah.
sense, you talking to somebody who's your father.
Yes.
But because
I
I'm
think
light, I'm light.
right. I think what also triggered me to also think in that way was when I saw a
Mm.
video with you dancing with your wife. It's a
Yeah,
recent video. It was like it should be maybe 30 seconds to a minute.
yeah,
You were like dancing the
mhm,
dance, looking at the dance steps and how active you
yeah.
were. I was like, like okay, but quick one.
Mm.
What influenced your? I think you like being fit.
Yes,
So with dieting, exercise, and all
yes.
of that, what's the influence? Is it okay? I want to
It's
add more
it's
life
it.
to my age. Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, it comes from years and years of discipline, from martial arts, from breakdance,
Okay.
music. I am affiliated with HipLife, hip hop, which is a youth vibration. So even in the body and the mind stay young, you know what I mean, without
Yes.
even trying. But I do like movement. I always
Okay.
have. Yeah, sometimes I fall off,
Okay.
pick myself right back up, and that's just what it is. And lately, I have realized that people are intrigued by
Okay.
what I look like physically. So I have become some sort of inspiration
Yes.
for folks,
Very.
and I'm glad because it's in a good way. And so I tend to almost show off, that
Oh. Okay.
yeah. But it's a good show off. It inspires them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now we have a fair idea of your relevance, like what you do, and
Mm,
basically what I have at the back of my mind now
mm.
is you need to stay true to yourself. When it
Yes,
happens that way, you are not in competition with anybody. You are just being yourself, and
yes.
wherever the relevance, it has to happen. It will just happen, which
Hmm.
I really appreciate that. Now
Yeah.
let's talk about business before we go. So
Okay.
you were signed to Glow.
Hmm.
Glow. You had Rockstone condoms. You had
Hmm.
Rockstone's watch. Like you've been doing
Hmm.
a lot of things.
Yeah, Mr. R2G, shea butter. Yeah.
Yes. So I just want to. We want to understand. You're a creative person.
Hmm.
Most of the time we do hear that. Oh, let the administrative guys deal with the business part of side of things and all. Is it that you create the businesses, or people create them and then you front it, or you front them and then
Yeah, I mean,
act
some
like
of them,
okay,
yeah, some of
okay,
them well, when I say front, I won't say front,
okay,
collaboration.
okay,
For whatever reason they choose me, and if I do like what it is that they're selling, then I will give
okay,
you all the amp that you need. So that would be
okay,
that business sense.
okay,
But also, I'm a hustler. My father was a hustler.
okay,
I make ends meet. People
okay,
don't even realize, and if you think about my survival in this country, music is not making that kind of money. Come on now, especially
Yes.
from my era. So
Right.
how do I stay alive? How do I feed my family? You know, and this is why I hustle. I make
Right.
ends meet. So
Right.
I take a block from Glow, then I go by the office, then I rename it Rockstone's office. A few years after that, I opened Grandpapa's. A few years after that, I opened Django Bar, and then
Yeah.
I go to after work. Then COVID hits, nobody coming clubbing no more. Then I take the watch it that everybody used to eat over there and make it to a
Yes.
whole new brand, Rocks Watch It. And now
Right.
this is what's rocking. This is how I move.
Yeah.
A lot of the young folks get excited. They get a block. They go buy a car, whatever. And, I'm not, thank God I'm not into a lot of materialistic shit. So I never had that problem. I'm very
W-
confident without jewelry or a fancy car. I drive a
Yeah.
Corolla S. I still drive my Corolla S. Yeah.
Right. So now we get into understanding, like you rightly said. So you
Mm.
take the money, not that you take because it was worth it.
Yeah.
So Glow pays you. You decided
Hmm.
to now not just to play with the money, but invest
Yeah.
in
They
something that
let
in
you
the
know.
long.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hmm.
sir. So now let's bring it that to the music space. Like I
Mm.
said, we saw Richie. No, you posted Richie's
Yes,
or
Richie.
Link's
Yeah.
new
Mm.
project. So with
Mm.
distribution, publishing, and all of that,
Yes.
the artists do or the creatives do make money from there. Okay.
Yeah.
How do they use it from your point of view? So
Mm.
yours was okay, Glow,
Mm.
club and all.
Mm.
Maybe
Mm.
you had passion for club, people coming together, chilling and all of that.
Well, it's close to what I do, music. Yeah.
Exactly. So with us coming up, how do you think we should handle this when the money starts coming in? Or what do we even have to do to make the money start coming in? And how do we
Well, I
transition
mean, to
to
each their own. I really don't
okay,
chase a dollar. I'll be lying. I don't
okay,
have that much financial literacy. Well,
yes,
people think that no, but then my
okay,
partner, my wife, she does. So
okay,
she's smart. She's sharp with.
okay.
So if I get an idea, then she will help me
Monetize it.
yeah, and make it come to life.
Okay,
But I do have grace and blessing. I must
okay,
admit this, which is natural. I always had that.
okay.
Jah looks out for me, and I'm grateful. And for
Right.
whatever it is that I go, somehow I always make it. Not
Yeah.
overly, not underly. I am content.
Okay.
Which makes life quite easy for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we are complicating things or making things complex for
Oh, I mean, I do
for
have
ourselves.
struggles.
Yeah.
I got struggles like everybody else,
Right.
but I've realized that the pattern all throughout my life, I've been blessed. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So with Reggie, with Leng's new project, why are you in support? Like,
It's really ironic. A few days before Brother Richie hit me up, I had actually posted on my page spots and I put teeth. Fire. Yeah.
spot you.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yes.
I watched Snoop Dogg speak on this, and I listened to a lot of. I mean, they're literally ripping us off, you know.
Yes.
And so my thing was, I'd rather give my money to a brother than, you know, and Richie said, "Yo, I got this. There's no middleman, blah blah." And I thought this is a great idea. I might even buy shares in this. But
Right.
I wanted to be the first, and isn't that strange that I'm the oldest and I'm the first, or of the I'm the experiment.
Right.
But I have such a wide catalog, and people want to own history, a piece of history. So I really, I'm not begging you bread. I'm saying go and stream. I am with that now. Go and stream Plan B. Go.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the way you can help me. You want to thank me for all that I did for us,
Industry.
not you, for us. Then
Right.
put some coins in there so I can look after my. Don't wait and say Wambobra Unye because you totally enjoyed what I created.
Good.
Some of you even started your careers off of the back of what I
Oh,
created.
yes.
So I'm saying the best homage that you could pay is by doing this. So I'll
Yes.
be more glad if you don't talk about flowers. I'm not a girl.
Right.
Give flowers to your
Yes. Give
girlfriend and your
him.
mother. You know what I mean? Just
Yes.
go and stream and so that
Yes.
I could pay school fees. Yeah.
Exactly. So before we even wrap up,
Mm,
with what Richie has started is very good.
mm,
So because
yeah.
I also have the same concern that
Yeah.
why would you have to release your songs, like
Mm,
give the rights to them, maybe a
mm,
distributor, and then they will
mm,
now release it onto these
yeah.
platforms and
Yeah.
all. Why don't we
Mm,
have our own? So then it
yeah.
comes back to this question. Theirs that like that of the Western world. Theirs
Mm,
is more structured.
mm-hmm.
So for me, my question is, do we have a music industry here in Ghana? Why? Because when we say an industry, based on my little understanding,
Mm.
like they have systems,
In
things are
place. Yeah.
properly
Yeah.
structured. Do we
Yeah.
have a music industry
No,
in
we
Ghana?
don't. No, we don't.
Okay,
And
okay,
so this is why people like Richie and them are bringing the pieces. So
okay,
small. So this is
okay,
one, another piece will fit in. We got to
okay.
start somewhere, you know.
Yes,
I suspect that
yes,
Richie's going to become as big as Spotify, but
right,
with from an African standpoint,
yes,
which I really, because Afrobeat, my piano, all that's what's dominating right now.
yes.
So it's only right that, and he's a musician bona fide. He has learned the ropes. I'm
Yeah.
riding with him. Yeah.
But one other thing too is like what we see Richie trying to do. Our
Hmm.
other concern too is how will people patronize, because there have been platforms like Urban Row, and I think there are a few of
Yes.
them.
People tried it, but you
Yeah.
see, for everyone, nothing under the sun is new. And for every time
Yes.
that somebody came, we have gained more knowledge about
Right.
this thing.
Okay.
So now
Okay.
let's try him.
And
He's
push.
not
Yes.
saying he's but he's saying I'm gonna do it,
Yes.
and I'm
I,
riding with him. So let's see what happens.
right.
Yeah.
There's this thing during the political campaigns, like when they were campaigning. At the
Hmm.
point I saw Dr. Baumia talking to the creatives, and I think he
Hmm.
was mentioning that he was going to have a platform where they will monetize and all of that.
Yes. Yes.
Personally, I play a bit in this space, even in the crypto space, NFTs,
Hmm.
and all of that.
Hmm.
So I have a very good and I mean, it's fairly good understanding of how some of these things work.
Hmm.
For me, I think Ghana, for instance, sometimes I think that the creatives don't know how powerful they are.
Yeah.
My
Yes. I
sound
totally
harsh.
agree.
My concern is that, okay, we know, like you're a musician, you
Hmm.
know you need a system that can
Hmm.
properly help you. Not now,
Hmm.
even in the long term, when you are
Yeah.
resting somewhere, you can get your money coming in. When radio stations are playing your songs, you should be having something in. But
Hmm.
why would the radio stations take you serious? Or why would this platform, why should they take you serious? It's only when we have like policies or like maybe I mean allies like
Hmm.
laws and all of that,
Hmm.
properly structured policies with law backing and all of that from
Hmm.
parliament, blah blah blah, before we can have some of these things properly moving. Now
I totally agree. Yeah.
yeah, but the unfortunate thing is that sometimes I feel the creatives don't care, and I don't
Well,
know if I'm saying the
Ghana,
right thing or yes.
Ghanaians, yeah, we have a level of self-centeredness that's unrivaled. It's
Okay,
crazy, you know.
okay,
And if you look at everything that I did and how selfless I did it, it's
yes,
how you realize, today they ask why you still relevant. I said because I gave, you know,
yes,
and this is why
yes,
the people have a different feeling towards me, you know, and the Ghanaian artists are very self-centered.
right,
They literally only think about themselves and they blowing up and I got a hit record and I got money and it's crazy, you know.
yes,
And I watch and I'm like, you don't realize that every hero is a bar at last. You're not gonna be hot, In fact, in
forever,
your times, you seem to expire quicker. Yeah.
quicker. The TikTok
Today,
and Instagram and
yeah.
everything.
If you put out an
Yeah,
album today, and there's a sex tape of delay.
It's gone. The album
Your
is
album is over.
yes.
You know,
So
they
so so
sensationalism.
yeah, so I think that's more part of the reason why they should try have systems like policies,
Yeah, yeah.
allies backing all of these things to ensure that you have longevity, like long in the long term, you can still eat, chop small from
Yeah.
whatever that you have done.
I agree.
Okay, Grandpapa, thank you
Yeah.
very much. Thank you very much
It's
for
been
joining us and
insightful.
helping
Much.
us
Yeah.
understanding most of some of these things. And
You're
we
welcome,
hope this
brother.
wouldn't be the first and last. In the
Sure.
future, we'll still come back. Thank you
Sure.
very much.
Thank you. Salutations.
All right,
Bye.
sure. Bye.
Bless.
Bye.
Bye.